I'm telling you, Tom, they drive women away. I used to have an exciting life, have fun, travel, drink fine wines. But not anymore. I can't even go to dinner. I can't even go to a damn movie. I come back, my house look like Baghdad.
Welcome back to the Stay at Simpson show. Here now with the entertainment attorney, James Walker. Boondocks is coming back, going into pre-production after a 2-year hiatus. Aaron McGruder, the creator, a popular cartoon, controversial. Your thoughts?
I love it. I think he tackles things right on point, and I think Regina King is out promoting the movie. She has the main voice of the two brothers, and I'm just happy to see us back. You know,
kind of weird for a female actress or an actress to have the voice of two male characters, isn't it?
Very, very unusual, but it's a strength to the talent of Regina King, who we know from growing up on 227, all the way up to some of the Tyler Perry movies and
Martin,
right. And other things she's done. But she kind of leaked it out the box when she was out promoting this new movie about a wedding, our family wedding. She was promoting that movie and leaked out that Boondocks was coming back.
Now here's a guy, Aaron McGruder, the creator, who had the cartoon on the broadsheets on the newspaper, and said, you know what, this thing could be bigger than that. Got bored with sort of doing what he was doing and wanted to branch out, which you're very big on, branding. Decided to brand himself broader, went to the Cartoon Network, and now he got some traction on this.
He's got a lot of traction, and one of the points that I've often heard is if Sony got behind it a little more, could it be as big as, say, The Simpsons or some of the other kind of shows that we know about? He lays very, very much in the backdrop. I mean, he's very controversial. He does a lot of political satire.
Absolutely.
He makes a strong message with the show. But at the same time, if he walked in the room, a lot of people wouldn't know who he is. And I think it was a good thing for him to make this move with Sony and the networks, because it now gives a chance for it to build a stronger base.
He's been quote-unquote controversial, like any good cartoon, social satire, and taking on ML King and the ML King family.
That's
and
right.
R. Kelly, when R. Kelly had his scandal with the allegations that he was a pedophile, so to speak, right? And he's taken on these issues and created some controversy. So he's not afraid to go there.
No, he's not afraid to go there. And what's unique about with him is that when he tackles an issue, you see how he's carefully thought out the language between the characters, the interplay among the characters, the brothers, Uncle Ruckus, the interplay between all of them in their lines is very, very, very carefully thought out.
And the backdrop here, this is a black family in a middle-class white neighborhood, I believe, right? And so their sort of journey as they adjust to this new enclave.
And it's funny that it takes a cartoon to say things that many of the mainstream actors probably would not want to say. It takes an animation show to say things that many shows will shy away from.
But yet his audience is very diverse. We have some folks here on the crew, big fans of the show, right?
Big fans of the show. And I think the air date is March 28th. They've been kind of tinkering with not wanting folks to know. Then he put it out on Twitter. Then he put it out on the social networks. And then Regina confirmed it. So everyone's building up for the end of the month.
So we go from cartoons to hard news. CBS News, there's some speculation out in the papers last week that when Katie Couric's contract is out, the Anderson Cooper from CNN may become the guy to replace her behind that desk. Your thoughts on that? You were never big on the whole Katie Couric going from the morning to CBS News. But
no, and overall it's been a flop. I think she did a wonderful thing with Sarah Palin's interview. She got Sarah Palin to open up then as the presidential candidate for the Republican Party, vice presidential candidate.
You say open up, some say exposed.
Some say exposed, right. But besides that, I mean, she hasn't made her mark, and at the end of the day, I think Brian Williams is going to be the guy that really dominates that evening format.
That's a tough market, though, right? Because you have a set audience, an older audience, set in their ways, and it takes a lot to move an audience. And I guess they're thinking maybe they bring in someone younger to bring in a new audience. But as we're seeing, it's hard to bring in a new audience to local news these days, right? That's just the reality. It's a shrinking pool.
The news business has changed. You know, back in the days of Harry Reasoner, who we grew up on, and guys Max Robinson, and the guys in the 70s, Walter Cronkite, it wasn't instant 24 hours news.
Right. With
the web and the internet now, it dilutes the value of the nighttime broadcast. People get it, you know, by noon. They get it by 3 before you come on with the 6:30 evening news. So it's very tough now to figure out what really works in terms of attracting younger viewers, because many of them are on the internet.
Yeah,
as we know, the newspaper business is suffering. So it's not like back in the day where you got your Post Telegram in the morning at 8 o'clock, and then at 6:30 p.m. you watch the evening news with Walter Cronkite or Harry Reasoner or Max Robinson or some of the other legendary anchor men and women. And you really looked forward to that night sitting around the dinner table and seeing the news.
So having said that, if indeed they go to Anderson Cooper, who's younger, do you think that works? Is he bringing a new audience, or is it still the same challenge?
I still think it's the same challenge. And I wonder, you know, Anderson's on CNN, which obviously, you know, I've done a lot of volunteer work with him as a legal analyst. I still wonder if he is respected like a Katie Couric, you know, like a Brian Williams. Like, I mean,
That's good work.
He's clearly done good work. He's been over in Haiti right now. He's in other parts of the world. Clearly, he's one of the young, you know, stars in terms of young journalists under 50, under 60.
Right.
But it seems like when you sit in that night chair, you need a little, I mean, he's got gray hair, but you need a little more seasoning than that.
And to be fair to Kirk, she's done some good work, too, as far as bigger pictures. Let's move on now to sports. Another issue. Michael Jordan now. The word is out that he will become a majority owner of the Charlotte Bobcats. We talked in our last segment about the Hartford team that's going to be formed here and sort of the business standpoint of this. Your thoughts now. Big deal having, rare to see a major star now become a majority owner of a team. And your thoughts on this?
I think it's a wonderful thing. Obviously, as an African American, I think it's wonderful to see not only players taking the ball on the court, but off the court getting up in the boardroom.
Why is that so important?
I think it's very important because for years, as we know in sports, it's always been that blacks couldn't serve as a quarterback. Blacks weren't smart enough to coach. We still have a big issue if you talk to the National Black Coaches Associations in college sports, the number of minority coaches, whether football. The NFL had to implement a program to force owners to interview minority candidates. So when you see a Michael Jordan come forth and say, okay, I'm going to buy a team, it gets our players to understand that a 5, 10, maybe even 15-year NBA career is not guaranteed. So you got to prepare yourself to hopefully be in a part of ownership and a part of management and a part of executive decisions. Everyone's not going to have $400 or $500 million like Michael Jordan to buy into a team.
Well, with the kind of money these guys make now, they're making the $20, $30, $40 million. You know, why not think about investing in a team? It's very hard to lose money investing in a team. Very few do it, right?
We should,
about 30 seconds.
We should quickly tell your viewers that, you know, Magic Johnson owns, I think, 5% of the Lakers, I believe, when he came back in the late 90s. One of the deals was that he was coaching and a part owner of the team.
Oscars, you made predictions last week. You want to reiterate what you think will be the theme?
The show will be on tonight.
Headline tomorrow will be what?
The headline tomorrow will be that Hurt Locker surprised a lot of people, Catherine Bigelow's movie. What's interesting is she's in the same catalog with her ex-husband, James Cameron, who did Avatar.
That's right.
So there's a lot of scuttlebutt now that there are emails going out, you know, bashing. Her producers are bashing each other.
Best actor.
Crazy Heart, Jeff Bridges.
Best actress.
Best actress, maybe Monique, maybe Helen Mirren, maybe Meryl Streep. But Blindside, Sandra Bullock.
Hearing good things about that.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock. Interesting, we should know, too, for African Americans, in 81 years, they've only won 10 awards. African Americans we've only won 10 awards.
Of the big...
in general.
Okay.
In 81 years.
So Monique winning would be a big thing.
Well, it'll be a big thing, but it's interesting. Little controversy is that sometimes they win for negative portrayals. And the question always begs, Denzel won for Training Day, but he didn't win for Malcolm X.
Right.
Sidney Poitier won as a handyman in Lilies of the Field in '63. And Hattie McDaniel won their first one in 1939 for playing a mammy.
Okay,
you know, a house guest. So there's a lot of scuttlebutt behind the scenes of, like, why can't African Americans win for a major portrayal like Malcolm X?
Roles.
Or why can't Spike Lee? So it's going to be very interesting to see how it wins out. But at the end of the day, I think Avatar is the big machine.
All right, he's James Walker, our entertainment attorney. We're coming back with Chris Keating, Hartford Current Capitol Bureau Chief. Get the lowdown on things going on at the Capitol. Don't go away.